Dynamic level 1. And I will, since we just had the recording flash up, if anyone objects to having a speech recorded, would you indicate that before we get started? Any objections for a recording? Dia would like to have her speech recorded. Any objections, because you may appear on camera, and I would like to give anybody the option to decline, and we can shut off the recording. Okay, hearing none, we will proceed. Dia's speech is a pathway speech, dynamic leadership level 1, and it's evaluation and feedback number 1, and it's a 5 to 7 minute speech. Her introduction. What do you really know about that business owner at your favorite restaurant? Have you got ideas about an author and the process to get published? What opinions do you have about realtors? Here's one rule of thumb: don't judge a book by its cover. Dia is going to give us the inside story of life as a restaurateur, cookbook author, and favorite neighborhood realtor. Dia Irby, the inside story. The inside story, Dia Irby.
Have you ever thought, if they only knew what being a project leader was like? Oh. Or maybe you have a different occupation and you still say, if they only knew what it was like. Oh, sure, they may look at you and you're all successful. But what is the inside story? Do you know the inside story of owning a restaurant, publishing a cookbook, or being a realtor? If you only knew. Well, I'm here to give you a little inside story. Before I opened a little tea room, I thought I'll be open from 11 to 3. That's really short. It won't take all that time. I didn't know the inside story. Show up before 8 o'clock. Sometimes don't leave until after 8 o'clock. So the next time you go to your favorite restaurant and look around and see all the success, think about all the hard work that restaurant owner has gone into to provide you with this wonderful experience. And be a good customer, because the profit margin on restaurants is very small. And you don't like it when somebody shows up and asks for a cup of hot water and brings their own tea bag, because they're saving money. If they only knew the inside story. When I closed my restaurant, people ask, how are we going to get your Greek egg salad? Well, you could buy my cookbook. I thought all you have to do is put the words down and get your graphic artist to help you design it. Done deal, easy peasy. Until you get into it and you have to retest all the recipes and then reword things because it doesn't fit on the page right. And then when you make a little change on your edition and your graphic artist changes things, every part of it changes in the book and you have to start all over again. It was grueling. And finally, we had the finished product and sent it off, the perfect copy. I thought, in the first couple of runs of the book, under red beans and rice, yep, there it was. Add a dash of tobacco. Autocorrect. It's supposed to be Tabasco. And then there's real estate. Now everybody's talking about the market right now. Man, real estate agents have it. This is the great time to be a real estate agent. First of all, there are 170 steps between starting with a client to close, and not every transaction closes, and you don't get paid until you close. 3 of my favorite inside stories are: one time I was working with a very difficult client. She kept complaining about the roof. It was going to leak. She couldn't get insurance, on and on. She stressed me out so much fussing about the roof. Ironically, I broke out in shingles. Now, what would I have had if she was fussing about the plumbing? I don't even want to go there. Another time in real estate, I was mistaken for being a prostitute. What? I'm texting my client. We're supposed to meet at 11 today. No, I don't have an appointment today. Yeah, we're supposed to meet today at 11. Nope. This is your real estate agent. I'm coming by to look at your house. The response I get, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were the prostitute. Then I realized, oh, he's an undercover cop trying to bust up a prostitute ring. Whew. My favorite experience, inside story, was that I make calls to all my past clients just to find out how everybody's doing. And I'm calling. I get a call from my daughter in the middle of this, and we have a nice conversation. She's off at college. And then we end our conversation with our traditional, bye, I love you. I went back to making my calls. The next person on my list was a good old boy. I have my conversation with him, and then, you guessed it, I said, bye, I love you. Oh no, did I just tell this good old boy I loved him? Maybe he didn't hear me. Should I call him back and explain that that's how I end my conversations with my daughter? Well, no, he maybe didn't hear me. I'll just ignore it. And I went back to calling. I couldn't let it go. So I called him, but no answer. The next day, I called him, no answer. He's probably thinking I'm stalking him now. Finally, he answers on the 3rd day. And I tell him the story, why I said, bye, I love you. And I love all my clients. He said, well, I was wondering, I told my wife I didn't think we matched or nothing. I'm like, oh, I got it settled. And he understood. I care about all my clients, and then said, bye, I love you. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. The point is, we see people doing their job, but we don't have the inside story all the time. Sometimes we look at them and we're jealous. Ah, the grass looks greener on the other side. They're so successful. That's so easy, but we don't have the inside story. The rule of thumb here is, don't judge your insides to other people's outsides. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Dia.